Chad, I got some eats. I am finna eat too, bro. We got Magic Johnson and Larry Bird interview with Letterman.
Our first guests are NBA legends. Their rivalry forever changed
Oh,
the game
good
of
pass.
basketball. Their relationship is the focus of a new Broadway play entitled Magic Bird, which opened earlier tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Larry Bird and Irvin Magic Johnson.
What? The same time? Okay. That's pretty dope. Bro, these fools is like the same height. I met Magic. He's tall. He like 6'8", 6'9", person. Uh, damn. What up, Bird Magic? What up? This nigga always laughing. No wrong with laughing though.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I saw the documentary the two of you did, and I guess it was produced by HBO. I'm right about that.
Oh
I
yeah,
found it
I watched
compelling.
that one.
I found it moving. I
Yep, me
found
too.
there's so much humanity in the production, and it stayed with me for quite some time. Now, you guys lived those lives. When you saw the documentary, did you have the same feelings, or was it just, oh yeah, that's us, that's what we did?
Yeah, they did a great job of capturing our feelings and how we feel about one another. But
Okay.
it's really all about the competition. I mean, even today, if we could do something to compete against one another, I still like to do that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Damn. There, you pushing 70, dog.
Magic, you feel the same way?
Oh, I feel exactly the same way. I wish
Yeah.
we could compete against each other right now.
Well, you know what
Wow.
you could do is you could go out and buy a baseball team now.
Hmm.
There you go.
I thought about buying the Cardinals, but after finding out, I found out Urban paid over $2 billion for the
For the
I know
Dodgers.
the Cardinals are worth at least $500 billion. That's a little bit much.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wait,
stuff.
Chad, is the Dodgers, is the Cardinals historically better than the Dodgers? Why Bird say that?
When you guys knew each other earlier, everybody knows about the NCAA championship game, 1979. Do I have that date right? But you guys actually played as in some sort of, was it an amateur summer tournament?
Chad, I know it's not good to eat in front of y'all. This ain't no mukbang, but hey, I'm hungry. Just got off work. So y'all know how it be.
Or like that? Where was
Y'all
that?
want
Where was
some?
that?
Well, it was in Kentucky, and
Chicken, broccoli,
that's
carrots.
the first time probably in both our lives that we actually sat on the bench. And I don't think neither
Corn.
one of us liked that at all. But because we were on the bench, David, and we got a chance to play against the starters every day and at nighttime at practice. And Larry and I were so upset we took it out on the starters. So we beat them every single day, right? But Larry was a special cat because it proved to me this man could really play basketball. I'd heard about him, but I never saw him play live and in person, and he was incredible. I mean, he dominated, and that's what it's all about. So I went
Yep.
back home telling everybody, oh, this Larry Bird guy is for real.
Right. And but you guys were kids then. I mean, you're a little older than Magic, but you were what, 17, 18, 19 in that range, right in there when that happened?
I think I was 19,
Yeah.
19 or 20, probably 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were, from the beginning, and correct me if I get any of this wrong, because it's your life and well, you guys ought to know. Magic, were you inclined early on to become friends with this guy because you were drawn to him because of his basketball abilities? Did you want to be friends with him from the beginning?
From the beginning, I wanted to be friends, but Larry didn't want none of that. And so,
I heard that.
you know,
Yeah, he didn't. Cause in the movie, Larry was just like, man, nigga, I'm just trying to win. Well, he didn't say the N word. I said the N word. Y'all don't say it if you're not black. But hey, he was like, man, I'm just trying to win.
So I said, okay, if that's how it's gonna be, then we have to be like that. I started disliking him too. But he told me that I smiled all the time, and he knew that
I'm telling you, he always
I will
smiling.
smile at you, but I want to cut your heart out at the same time. So
Mm.
he knew that was part of my strategy to get him, lure him in as my
So
friend.
he didn't want to demonstrate any weakness by becoming your friend. Now, did you feel what his advances to being a friend, and you just rejected them? You were not interested. You didn't like him. I mean, what was your side of that?
It's not like one of my old girlfriends, you know. I mean, when you say advances, I get a little scared. But my thing was when you compete, you're really not friends. You want to keep an edge. I was like
Yeah.
that through high school and through college. But Irvin is an outgoing guy. He loves everybody. He wants to high five, and he got that big smile. My goal was to try to take 3 of them teeth home with me.
Two different perspectives. That's interesting because Indiana,
Very funny.
Michigan, same generation of basketball, similar players, identical players, similar ideology about playing. Anything to do with the Midwest or the times that you guys came from?
I think it's the Midwest, and I think when you think about Indiana high school basketball, I mean,
Yeah, there's some dogs out of
everybody
there.
says it's the best. You think about Michigan, we're right there with Indiana, and
Mm-hmm.
so how we were taught to play the game, both Larry and I, and then the way we wanted to play the game as individuals, and so we're mirrors of each other. I may smile a little bit more, but the way we played the game of basketball was exactly the same because we would do anything to win. We didn't care about scoring points. We cared about winning the game and making our teammates better. And that's why I think that
Like, I will say this, chat. One thing I will a billion% agree with y'all on. Old school players, possession by possession. This is the eye test. I don't know statistically, stats. I don't know. Y'all will have to let me know in the comments if statistically, if my generation, the 2020s, 2010s, or whatever, the new age is better. Because think about it. I don't even want to say, well, we not better than the old school. I know that for a fact. Um, is it more competitive? The defense has toned down, y'all, in my generation. Uh, but what I will, what I'm trying to get to and say is, man, don't you hate when you? That shit was just in my head. Now I forgot it. It'll come back to me.
oh, thank you.
It'll come back to me, y'all.
We were able to change
Dang, I
not
forgot
only
that quick.
basketball, but we were able to change the NBA too. And so that was great
I
for
want to
both
talk
of us.
about that in a little bit, but so now you guys meet the first time in this summer league tournament, whatever it was. The next time is for the NCAA championship. Is that right? What did that? And it was like a 10-point loss. Am I right, Larry?
Well, it was 10 point. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
Mm.
It felt more like a 20-point loss, but when you're out.
Our first guest,
What?
are NBA legends.
I'm so fucking tired doing it. I'm gonna find it back, chat. I gotta give me some juice anyway. That's crazy. All right, chat. Give me some more juice. Let's finish this interview.
Because it's your life, and
Ooh,
you
excuse
guys
me.
ought to know. Magic, were you inclined early on to become friends with this guy because you were drawn to him because of his basketball abilities? Did you want to be friends with him from the beginning?
From the beginning, I wanted to be friends, but Larry didn't want none of that.
Oh, we gotta skip forward.
Him too. I was part of my strategy to get him, lure him in.
What was your side of?
Is this recording? I'm bad. Chat, y'all want some? That's what I'm eating. I just cooked it, but yeah. And I got some cranberry juice. It helped my body. Chad, I'm skinny as hell. I'm like 150 pounds. Well, 160 pounds. I'm like, me and Allen Iverson like the same size. He might be like 2 inches taller. Feel me? If that.
You say advances, I get a little scared. But you know, my thing was when you compete, you're really not friends. You want to keep an edge. And I was like that through high school and through college. But Irvin is an outgoing guy. He loves everybody. He wants to high five. And, you know, he got that big smile.
Yeah,
My
we,
goal,
nigga, I just listened.
Indiana,
I don't know why I be saying nigga to Larry Bird.
West.
When you think about Michigan, we're right there with Indiana.
That's just a word I
And
say.
so how we
I'm gonna have to edit this out. My bad, y'all.
I may smile a little bit more, but the way we played the game of basketball was exactly the same because we would do anything to win. We didn't care about scoring points. We cared about winning the game and making our teammates better.
I'm not editing this out.
And that's why I think that, oh, thank you. We were able to change not only basketball, but we were able to change the NBA too. And so that was great
I
for
want to
both
talk
of us.
about that in a little bit, but so now you guys meet the first time in this summer league tournament, whatever it was. The next time is for the NCAA championship. Is that right? What did that? And it was like a 10-point loss. Am I right, Larry?
well, it was 10 points.
Dang.
Yeah.
It felt more like a 20-point loss. But, you know, when you're out there playing and you get started in these games, sometimes you go, uh-oh, these guys are pretty good.
Right.
And I had that feeling at halftime that
Yeah.
these guys were too much for us.
Now at the beginning of the game, did you meet Irvin there?
Why?
Do you remember trying to talk to Larry before the game?
Nope.
Yeah. You had learned your lesson.
I learned my lesson, and at that time, he was going after something I wanted bad, and I was going after something he wanted bad. So we didn't want to talk. We wanted to get it on and see who was the best.
Okay.
And in terms of basketball, in terms of your career, in terms of your life and championships, what did losing that championship mean to you, and how did it affect
Yeah,
you?
that's the toughest one I've ever taken because, you know, you had all your friends. You're at a college. It's really when you step away from home. I felt in Indiana State, they accepted me, brought me in. It was tough, and it's still tough.
Yeah.
But
Still tough today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn.
How about you, Magic?
Bro, how is that still tough? Larry Bird, I guess, man. Well, NCAA was way bigger though. You know, that stuff had more viewings than the NBA back then. So I get why that was tough, literally, bro.
Title means
I get that. I get that.
Well,
That's crazy
you
how
just
tough
heard
it
him.
is.
It's still tough for him.
Literally, it's people probably watching that every single day.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Then you go to Los Angeles, you go to Boston, relatively in the same time frame, and your careers in the NBA take off, and the rivalry is cemented or begun anew. And then there's somebody says we're going to sell shoes. We got a Larry Bird shoe and we got a Magic Johnson shoe. Let's get these guys together and we'll shoot a thing. And you did want to do it, didn't want to do it.
well, I wanted to do it because we won the championship that year and we beat Magic. So,
So yeah,
I
feeling pretty good. All right.
Larry funny,
Yep.
man. Hey, they both funny.
And then Magic, how did you?
I did not want
do
to
it.
go to Indiana.
Bro.
They won the championship. I'm going to his home too, and I protested. I didn't want to go.
Yeah. But the story is that you were reluctant to do it, and you said, okay, if you can get
it's
Magic.
called negotiating, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you prevailed because you said, if you can get him here, we'll do it in my backyard on my, literally, your home court, and that's what happened. Now, and he shows up. What was you, when you saw him, were you leery? Were you worried about he's coming into my house, into my yard?
Well, I had my brothers there and I was going to fight him.
Yep.
And,
Okay. I like that.
If I couldn't whip him, surely one of them could.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt, you know, my mom was pretty good about it. She was all excited. My brothers were excited. They loved Magic. The town was excited about having him come in our hometown. And, you know, come from a small town, it's pretty big news.
French lick.
French lick, and
Look, look.
they must be from the town over. But but he came in and we shot this commercial. Had my mom fix lunch, and it was neat. It was pretty neat.
But that, according to the documentary, that was the beginning of a friendship. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's accurate. We really didn't say too much once I arrived. We actually had never really interacted with each other, so we got to the basketball court. We shot the
So that's their
half of the
first
commercial,
interaction.
then it was lunch break, and so I'm going to my trailer thinking I'm gonna eat alone and he's gonna go. He said, "No, Irvin, come on up. My mom fixed lunch at the house." So I was like, "Uh-oh."
Yep.
So, but I said, "Okay, cool."
Yep. In chat, if you don't know, whenever you chilling with your friends or something, and you tell them you got something to eat, or you go get something to eat, and they tell you, "Nah, mama cooked this, granny got us, cuz got us." Go eat that food, man. That's love, bro. When people cook for you, 'cause that take energy away from them on they daily.
So we rode up, and Larry has this beautiful, the, his house is beautiful, great acres and everything. I mean, green grass. It was
Yeah, that house
unbelievable.
was nice.
So we go up to the house,
Is,
and
my
his
bad,
mom
is
just
nice.
greeted me at the door with a big hug, and that sort of just calmed me down. I said, "Wow,
Excuse me.
I'm getting a mom bird hug like my mother would hug me," you know.
Yeah.
And so then she told me I was like her favorite player, and I said, "Okay."
It's worse and worse.
So now I'm really sitting in the seat now. I'm waiting for lunch now because I feel good. But at the end of the day, what happened was we found out we were much alike. Midwest boys, grew up poor, hardworking families, had the same values, and I got to know Larry, the man, and he got to know Irvin, the man.
Now, did things change for you that day as well?
Yeah, I've always respected my opponents and him greatly because of the fact that he was so good. Everybody always said there's a hate element to it, and there never was a hate. It's just that I had so much respect.
It's competition
It's
at its
competition.
finest point, isn't it?
Yeah, and you never let your guard down, and he was so good, and I was trying to, I used to have this thing in my head in the summer. I go shoot 700 jump shots that day, and I get ready to leave, and I go, God, I know he's shooting 800, and then drop me back out there.
Bro, real spill, Larry. I know how you feel. When I was young, 700 is a lot of shots. I used to shoot 200, try to shoot 200 a day. But I ain't gonna lie, a lot of times, man, I get distracted, shoot 50 or 100 of them. But I try to aim for 200. Larry Bird shooting 700. Bro, when I used to shoot 200, bro, I used to think about, I'm like, Ray Allen got to be shooting like 2,000. The same way Larry Bird, like Magic shooting 800, if he shooting 700, Magic shooting 800. Bro, I used to think Ray, all the time in my head, I'm like, I know Ray Allen has shot like 2,000, 2,000 these.
So it was mind games too, but I always respected him and his teammates, and we had great teams, and it's just unfortunate that we got cheated in a lot of them games in the playoffs.
Cheated.
I ain't gonna lie.
Cheated.
Hold on. I ain't gonna lie, Chad. After 200 times, your arms gonna be towed up, boy. You ever try to do 200 straight push-ups?
I think talking about that episode where you guys did the commercial and you had lunch and so forth. I think I remember from the documentary that said that you really liked Irvin. You were less fond of Magic. Is that a correct? And what does that mean?
Well, Irvin the man's one thing, but Irvin the basketball player, I had a little problem with him.
I gotta get back in the gym, bro.
It ended, of course, 20 years ago, but there
Ain't gonna lie.
God, what?
I be doing calisthenics, but man, yeah, I'll probably get back on my calisthenics, bro. Push-ups, planks, wall sits.
There for God, what? Well, I can't really say what I think, but
Now,
And I need to hoop. That's all I need to do. That's like the final workout for him. I can do all that squatting and lifting and calisthenics. Man, I need to go hoop though. Don't nothing ain't no workout better than playing basketball. That's the easiest workout of all time.
when you hear that about you, that he liked Irvin, didn't like Magic, how do you interpret that? How do you feel about that? You know what he's talking about.
It made me feel good. David, hey, I was a thorn in his side.
Right.
You know, I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be go out there to kick his butt. That's what my job was, and his job was to kick mine. You know, and so I didn't want Larry to like me. He didn't
Might
have
go
to
hoop
like
this
me,
week.
but you know, we both respected each other. I knew Larry could beat me if I made mistakes. If we didn't play our best game, Larry made me have sleepless nights. Right? No, he did. He did. He had me because I was scared to death that I knew he could beat me.
Right.
And so that's what a great player does to you that you have to go up against. And not only was he great, the Celtics were great. So,
I get that too, cause like this is his job to hoop. That's like having a project due. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
and I was the same way, hopefully, you know, in his mind when he went to sleep, thinking about me. Because I was thinking about him when I went to sleep. That was for sure.
It's do you? Let's forget everything else. Forget the statistics. Forget the friendship, how it evolved, the teams. Do you now, in your heart, believe you're the better player?
Excuse me. Oh wait. Yeah, go on, spill it. I'm glad. That's a good question, bro.
actually, I've always said that I go by success, and he's won more championships, so I give him the nod.
Okay.
Being very gentlemanly.
Nah. Just keep it mean. If you think Magic better, that's cool.
Now, Magic, same question to you. Do you
Yeah, Magic.
Is Larry the better player?
I've always said that Larry was the better player.
Really?
Because he could do more, shoot from the outside, all
Um,
those type of things.
mhm.
You know, to us,
Damn.
really, at the end of the day,
When you think about it, it's crazy. Larry can't, even though they both can do everything, Larry is way better at the three than Magic is. You know. But Magic played PG and Larry played the three and the four. Um, it's just, well, Magic play everything sometimes. It's, man, but he got five and Larry got three. But it's man, mm. We ain't got nothing like that in 2026. No rivalry. Well, we go see what the Spurs and OKC looking like. If Spurs will go to the finals and win it all, then that might be something.
it really doesn't matter.
But ain't nothing like man, bro. These dudes came out of college doing this stuff. I can't even compare Wimby and it'll never be none like this, bro, ever again.
Yeah.
Because
That's tough.
what matters to me is that I played against the best. I got to know the man, Larry Bird, and that we got this friendship right now. That's all that matters because the fans are going to say, hey, Larry Bird was my man. Just like I run into a lot of Celtic fans.
Yeah.
You know, I used to hate you.
I get that all the time.
I get that all the time,
Yeah, I
right?
get
And
it.
so, but they say, I hated the Lakers, but why do we love Magic?
Yeah.
You know? And so, but what matters is that we're friends now. We can do so many things together. I still will hate him now. If we
Yeah.
play checkers or basketball right now, then
Checkers.
both of us are changing to those players that we used to be because we still want to beat each other.
You think
Why
you're
not
the better player,
chess?
Seriously, don't you?
He was the better forward, and I was the better guard.
Oh, there you go. That's a perfect way of handling it. Now, tell us, there's this documentary is, I think, the best sports documentary I've ever seen. And it's not because of anything other than you two gentlemen and who you are, the kind of men you guys are. And one of the points that is very, well, when you have your press conference and announce that you have HIV, the infection, your reaction and your reaction, Tell us about your feelings.
Well, my feeling was the first time, you know, I told my agent, I said, we got to call Larry. And I said, I want to tell him myself. And so I want to talk to him. Well, actually, we couldn't get a hold of him. Then Lon told him, and then Larry wanted to talk to me. And so we were able to talk. And the best feeling, David, is when a friend supports you.
Yeah.
And this young man came and supported me. That's what it's all about. Forget the sports, forget the championships, the MVP. He came to my side and supported me, and I'll never forget that. And that's the type of man Larry Bird is.
It's not. Well, gladly, it's not the way it was in those days. In those days, if you heard anything having to do with this, it seemed like an immediate death sentence.
Exactly.
What?
And gladly, like I say, medical treatment has progressed where it's not that at all. But that's must have been what you were thinking.
Yeah, we always heard 9 years.
Right.
But I remember the day we had a game that night. I always took a nap in the afternoon. My wife woke me up and said, "Hey, Lon Rosen called. You need to call Magic." So when I heard that, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I can remember back my father died, and my heart just sort of, he fluttered a little bit. When I heard about Magic, it's just like I had no energy. I didn't want to. It's the first time I can ever remember not wanting to play basketball, and it had a pit in my stomach for days after. Even after I talked to him, because in my mind, 9 or 10 years, he's going to be gone. And we had the Olympics, down the road. We had things we wanted to accomplish, but it's, man, here he is.
Yeah, happily things didn't work out the way we feared. Now, I mentioned we talk about it in the introduction.
Man,
Change the NBA, change professional basketball. Give us a couple of ideas how the game has changed because of you guys' career.
Well, I think that, the games were tape delayed when Larry and I came into championships. And I remember when
I heard about that.
The 76ers, when I was a rookie, the games came on at 11:30 at night. And so
That's so late.
to put now the championships in prime time, the salaries that people make, I mean, we affected a lot of the change that is happening. And then Michael Jordan came in right after us and took it to another level as well. And
Do you guys see kids playing in the league now? They say, "Oh, geez, this is the way I would have approached it," or is that the game has changed so much that your style of play doesn't exist or it can't exist?
Let me get in this before they go. Magic? No, it ain't no magic. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I guess if you want to say LeBron is the closest to Magic, I guess. But other than LeBron, nobody. Nobody. Bird. Bird. Nobody. Nobody, because Bird is a great defender, bruh. You got people like him on the offensive end, like Denny Avia. He's nice. He can pass very well. He ain't Larry Bird passing, but he nice. But Denny ain't got no defense. So I can't even compare him. Yeah, ain't nobody. Nobody.
Oh, it can exist. I mean,
Who?
there's not many 6'9" point guards out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think what I see is there's a lot of kids come in our league and take it for granted, but there's also a lot of kids come in our league that want to get better every day, and they do the work necessary to do better and better, and they care about their communities, and they care about their team. I see a lot of that. When I first came to the league, I didn't see hardly any of that. I think what me and Irvin did when we came in, people started watching basketball again. And our David Stern, which was our commissioner at the time, first year came in and just took us to another level. Then you got to remember Jordan, Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Karl Malone, John Stockton. All of us sort of came in. They came in a couple years after us. And the league got good right away. So we were just happy. We didn't know any of that was going on. We just wanted to play and compete.
Yeah.
But in '84, it changed.
But also we made passing fashionable again in the NBA.
Well, I think from a fan's standpoint, from a guy from Indiana who grew up loving and watching high school, college basketball and trying to play and so forth, the great legacy that the two of you leave is a demonstration of how to be a guy, just how to be guys, and that's invaluable. It's I know what you're thinking at home. You're thinking to yourself, geez, just like Dave and Leno. Well, I wish you could come back tomorrow and the next night and the next night, but I know you guys got to get to the theater to rehearse your big number.
Man, this was great, yo.
It's Magic Bird at the Longacre Theater. God, what a pleasure to meet you and to see you again, Magic. Thank you. Good luck with your Dodgers.
Thank you.
Thank you very